you goblins and paladins out there, to my little humble Let's Chat series. If you don't know what I got going on, my name is Eli, hosting my weekly little series here where I bring someone on, we chat about who knows what, and joining me once again is I was going to call you Dungeon Master, but I don't know if that's going to apply or
me.
not. Okay, a Dungeon Master, very well-experienced Dungeon Master, Alexia VanNoy. I hope I pronounced that right. I already forgot.
Yes, you're so good.
Yes, I killed it. So, last time we talked, all the awkward shenanigans, and you touched on a little bit of the RPGing realm, which I've done probably, maybe 5 to 10 in my lifetime, and I'm still very amateur, not too involved, but you are very, how would you explain or elaborate your experience?
I've been playing since my freshman year of high school.
Oh, wow.
Some of middle school, but I've been playing for over 4 years now. I'm trying to think when I graduated. So it's been at least... It's 7 years.
That's a hot minute.
And I've mainly been DMing. I don't really play a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of the stereotype of Dungeon Masters. They only do that and they don't play.
I can understand that because from my own experience, I'm not too crazy about when the DMing, GMing people get involved because they know how to cheat the system sorta. Because I've known people that have literally full on cheated, but then they know the other people they're playing with don't really know the technical stuff, so.
And that's kind of the opposite with me. I don't know what's going on. I know how to create games and how to, move the story, but you tell me a mechanic, I don't know what's going on. I just agree. I'm okay,
As a player or the Dungeon Master?
As the Dungeon Master.
Oh!
Well, and then some other person would be like, you can't do that. And I'm I don't care. That seems fun. I love it, though. It is, one of my greatest passions. If I could get paid to do it, every day.
That would be really cool, because I've wanted to test the waters, although I've not even experienced enough as a player, and I don't know mechanics either. But like you, I feel like I know how to do, a good story, world build, how to progress, all the stuff like that, Mm-hmm. It's just the technical stuff I'm very ignorant of.
People have to put it in the mindset that it is just a game.
Yeah.
And that even though... there's a million books and they're all $60 that it seems very serious, but in reality it's not. And so it's taking your mind out of the I need to be good to play before I get into meeting people that also play. They're gonna judge me. And no, I promise. It is so chill, so easy. It's all about giggling, rolling around, having a good time with your pals.
Are you referring to the dice or literally rolling around?
Either or, honestly. I've rolled around in laughter. Also the dice.
My problem is I've never found that right group. I feel like every group I've joined, I've had really good DMs, some of the best DMs ever. Or one really, but anyway. I always somehow wind up in a group. There's always that one guy that has main character syndrome.
Oh yeah.
Can't stand it. I think the last legitimate game I played, which was 2 years ago, dude was literally speaking on other characters' behalf. It would be my turn, and as I would start saying something, he's yeah, I think he wants to do this. Is no, shut up. It's my turn. You can do whatever you want in your turn and be the cool main guy or whatever, but at least let me do something.
Right. How I DM is I tell all of my people, I'm hey, I need you to send me a backstory. I don't care if it's a paragraph, I don't care if it's 16 pages. I need you to send me it, and I will read it, and I will make a whole arc dedicated to you. Because everyone likes to feel a little special.
Yeah.
And you have to formulate it in a way where it's not the arcs are all broken up.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I run Curse of Strahd a lot, and I had recently, it kind of fizzled out, but I had a monk, some sort of investigator, Sherlock Holmesy type character.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then a paladin and some other character.
Do they all walk into a bar?
Yeah, I mean in the beginning. They gotta walk into the bar. But it was the monk had this huge family trauma thing.
Oh wow.
And then one person was turning into a vampire, and another person had this whole power struggle issue with Strahd. And so it's all balancing their stories together and individually.
Have you ever watched Vox Machina?
I've heard of it, and I know it's Critical Role.
Yeah, it is Critical Role, which, funny enough, I never watched them, but I wanted to watch. I just decided to watch Vox Machina because I think it's the same animation as like Invincible, which I like that show.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend.
Yeah.
Personally can't watch people do it. I see like those animated clips on YouTube like constantly, but I can't just watch people sit and play. It's like I would much rather be playing. But Vox Machina is like, I know it's very heavily based off of like an actual campaign, but watching just like a very well animated storytelling it, and you were mentioning arcs and all that, it made me think of it because they do such a good job at that.
That's been going on for like years and years and years. I think they just finished their campaign. Everyone was like super sad about it. I need to watch, but getting into Critical Role, it's like, I don't know, getting a new language. Like, there's so much going on that I don't know what's happening.
Oh, I bet.
I really like Dimension 20, which you said you don't like watching people play, which is so sad because that's all they do. But Brennan Lee Mulligan, he's like the main guy. And of course, there's other people that come in and DM, but they're all like separate stories. There's like Fantasy High, which is you can guess, and then Unsleeping City, which is New York, and there's a space one and a fairy tale one. So it's all like separate stories. But I think Critical Role might be like continuation of the same world at least.
Have you ever watched Harmon Quest at all?
No.
I heard. The premise for that. Because I have a buddy of mine who's really big, probably the best DM I know. I haven't tried yours yet. But anyway, he really hates that concept because what it is like these three, like, they're kind of comedic people. Mm-hmm. They host like a game of like your stereotypical D&D, and each week they have like a different guest or whatever. It's like one-off sessions, and it's not taken super seriously. Yeah. And that was kind of my biggest exposure to like RPGing. And when I was like telling my buddy about it, he's like, "No, don't take any of that seriously or whatever." But like, it was entertaining, and like, I think it would be fun to participate in something like that.
I love me a serious, just like brutal game. Like, so Curse of Strahd, his curse is watching his like lover, which is very loose terms. The woman that he loves that does not ever love him back, she gets reincarnated, but she dies every time by him, and he watches her die.
Oh wow. So did you come up with this concept, or is this something?
No, this is like one of the best modules for D&D.
Oh wow. So
that's like the main premise, but it's very like survival horror. Like, we're about to start, I think, this Sunday, which is exciting. And it's very, I can't wait to get my grubby little hands on it and figure out like everyone's characters and just like absolutely ruin them. I don't like killing off characters. That's my thing. And everyone's like, man, you need to be killing off characters. I cannot. But I can't wait to just like torture them emotionally, mentally.
That's fair. That's called character development.
That's what I'm talking about.
I do have, this is very random side tangent here, but I do have one memorable D&D story from high school, because that's when I was more involved. Did you have like a D&D club in high school?
We didn't, but I did play with like a bunch of people in like freshman year.
That's good. At least you had a group, really. Yeah. Well, Pulaski County, where I went, they had a full-on club, and they had like different groups set out, and I was in one specific group. And there was a guy, he was a part of it for like, I want to say like 2 to 3 sessions before I even joined. But then he left, and so they just killed him off. I forgot even how. And they, for some reason, were just dragging his body along. But then I joined, and I had some like weird special carpentry skill. I forgot what I was. Maybe Paladin, I don't remember. But anyway, we had to like all cross this river, this big old group, and most people were like jumping across, like one buddy I think, but jump back and forth, bring people across. And I was like, no, what I want to do, there's like this torn off bridge that was just torn asunder, rotted away, and this guy's dead body. And so I was like, yo, can I make a boat both out of the torn remains of this bridge and this dead guy's body? And I rolled, and it was a success. And I successfully crafted what we deemed as flesh boat. Like, I even had a buddy from Michigan who drew a lot of D&D art, and I had her draw, like, the whole group. One of the members, which was in the flesh boat. It's beautiful. I have to show you the drawing afterwards. Because literally, it's just like a regular boat with, like, patches of flesh and bone on the sides, and then his, like, decapitated head is on the mast of it. I sound like a psychopath. But that's my most like that's my biggest memory with it. That was one of the most fun times I had, and it's kind of sad that was so long ago.
All of the D&D stories I have go on forever because the campaigns I've been in were like longer, and they're all traumatic.
Oh,
like all of my characters have died, and like they're kind of like a hamster. Like, they just die in the most like brutal.
Your
awful...
character was chewing on an electric cable and gets electrocuted to death.
See, I had a character, and how she died by like multiple things combining. She sacrificed herself to a god to save them, and the god was like, "Why aren't you spreading my practice?" And so it was like eating away at her. And she was like,
wow, that's
color.
Cool.
And then at the same time, so it's like a layered effect. Her ex-lover came back to fight the party, and love was very loose. They like traveled together, and it was like a little romantic. Anyway, and he came to fight them, and then accidentally killed her in the process, but she was already dying, and it was this whole thing. But she did, in fact, not die. She went into a ring. Like, I bought this ring, and it saved me.
Wow.
It was like ring of mind shielding, but I couldn't play her anymore because she was technically dead in the ring. It was a lot. And then the guy that killed me, took the ring and left. He was like, "Hey." And apparently the DM was like, he's figuring out a way to bring her back. And I'm like, yes. And I was like, do I get to play her? And he was like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. Another character, there's like a whole another realm. There's like multiple realms of existence. And there's one called like Limbo, which is chaos. And I had another character named Melania, and she got trapped in there because of her brother. Long story. It was another like sacrificing myself for the party. That's always what I do, and it's awful. And then that character, to get my other character that got trapped out of Limbo, she was like holding the door open, and everyone watched as it just like stuck and closed her into Limbo, and so now she's like forever trapped, going insane.
Oh my gosh, that is wow, some Eldritch crap right there.
Yeah, it's like pretty awful. Like, all of my characters die in a horrible, brutal way.
Yeah, I was expecting, some goofy Final Destination stuff. No, you're talking about eternal soul tearing apart torment right there.
Yeah, and that's what D&D's about. Just like hurting you, but like in a fun way.
Yeah.
It's like
fun hurt.
This totally is not gonna make me cry later.
Oh.
And then you're like making a playlist for your D&D character.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And then
right
you
there.
listen to it as you cry.
Aww.
About they're dead. Yeah, that's what D&D
I
is.
want these things. I've never had the the D&D group experience.
I need to get you into our group.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. Do you guys do this in person or?
Yeah, we haven't started yet. So I'm excited because I'm moving back home, trying to figure out what do I do with D&D. I haven't played D&D in a while, and I really want to DM. So I'm hoping to start soon.
Well, good luck with that. Something cool, a group of guys that I did some dabbling D&D with, they go way back, years worth of RPGing, and a concept they did, which was pretty cool. I think it was at the end of senior year, the divide, everyone's going away or whatever that. One guy did a huge campaign where they were all on a train, these new reset characters, but they all had to fight their old characters from past campaigns and sessions.
That's so sad. Also, off topic, I don't think you ever said the thing.
I didn't. But, with this said, I think that's Alexia's way of saying we need to wrap up here.
No.
But no, we probably are drawn on time here. Gosh. Lord.
That's okay. You're getting used to the timer.
That maybe. I'm going to get on there and it's going to say 30 minutes. Or better yet, I'm going to get on there, it's going to say, you've exceeded your storage limit, which... But anyway, with that, I'm going to wrap it up before it's too late. I want to thank you again for coming on and dropping some D&D knowledge. It's making me reminisce and long for something I've never had. You really are good at torturing.
I know. It's my passion.
But, of course, gotta thank you for coming on again and letting me harass you yet again for your efforts. Here, have a Krispy Kreme donut that Haley didn't want earlier. Yeah, we went to McDonald's and she asked for 2 cookies and they're like, we're down to 1 cookie. And we were like, donut and donut. So, anyway, thank you. Thank you all! You should roll a dice right now, and if you roll a 20 right now, that means you need to like, comment, and subscribe. If not, then you die. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Anyway, any other D&D knowledge you want to drop?
No.
Okay, great. But like that then, that is a wrap.